Whatever happened with Battlefront 2 is nothing short of miraculous. The game started in the absolutely worst place possible, and now it's here. But what is here? What is the stage of the game, and is it actually worth playing for you? Again, as always, I'm not gonna be wasting your time and just give you the answer right away. Yes, go and play it. Battlefront 2 is absolutely worth it. Battlefront 2 is absolutely amazing. It's worth getting, it's worth buying, it's worth getting Game Pass for, it's worth getting EA Play for, whatever the way which you want, Steam, EA Play, instant gaming, whatever thing that it is, just go and get it. It's worth your time and your money. But little clarification is important, and let me clarify all the things why we were where we are now and why so many YouTubers are making so many videos about Battlefront 2 today. Now, about the last question, I actually have answered this extensively in one of my previous videos about Battlefront 2, and I actually covered basically everything of what happened and why it is seeing such an emergence. If you want to watch it, I will be linking it down below or in an end card. But TLDR, it was a bunch of different facts that it's fixed, facts that it's cheap, facts that it was a Star Wars day, and facts that a lot of YouTubers were actually creating a lot of content about this. And even since I actually made the video about this game actually beat its another all-time record, now hitting more than 35,000 concurrent players on Steam. This game is on a rapid rise, and it's not showing any signs of stopping. So let's say that you decide to get into the hype and just jump to the game. What should you expect? What will you see? And well, what you should be ready for. But first things first, there are two aspects about this game. This is a single player and a multiplayer game. Your first Battlefront game, not the original Battlefront game, the first remake of the first Battlefront, did not have any single player campaign. It was purely multiplayer. This one does have a single player campaign, and it is happening right alongside the ending of the episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Well, it actually starts right around there and continues a bit further in the future. And you are playing as an operatives for an empire that will, well, witness the downfall of an empire and then see it change of heart, etc, etc. I'm not gonna be spoiling, even though the story is nothing to be amazed of. But what it does is actually shows you the core gameplay mechanics of the game that you will be witnessing in a multiplayer, like how you move, how you shoot, and of course, most importantly, how the game will actually look. And yeah, let me tell you this one thing: game looks absolutely stunning. And despite its being released in 2017, this game looks way better than most of today's games. It just does not take the feeling of a Star Wars universe and convey it perfectly. It just conveys anything perfect. It looks absolutely stunning. Every texture, every model, every sound feels absolutely amazing. This is one of the few Star Wars games that will make you feel like you are in a Star Wars movie. It looks like a movie, it feels like a movie, and I would not say it plays like a movie, but it plays absolutely amazingly as well. About that a little bit later. So this single player campaign will actually ease you into it, just show you how everything works before you just jump into multiplayer and get cheese over and over again. Now, speaking of getting cheese over and over again in multiplayer is of course the biggest part of the game. That is a 95% of the game. Well, the single player is only like 5%. Multiplayer wise, you actually have a bunch of different game modes, bunch of different eras, and a bunch of different things to do. And let me just explain bit by bit for you to get ready when you will eventually decide to jump in. Well, game is happening in 3 distinct eras, of course, and every game mode has, well, distinct eras, or rather the mix of them or things like that. And yeah, the different eras usually are not getting mixed up with each other. Like, for example, you won't see clone troopers going against stormtroopers. Usually the two teams that you're gonna see are, well, era based. Like, for example, if you're playing in prequel eras, you're gonna have clone troopers against droid army. If you're playing in the regular trilogy, the main trilogy, you're gonna have your stormtroopers against rebels. And if you're gonna play in the sequel trilogy, you're gonna have your first order soldiers against the resistance. And every era and every army is being built meticulously. You have a bunch of different classes in each one of them, which you can start and play with. And usually this is like very Battlefield-ish classes, like kind of like your assault, your sniper, your support, and things like that. This is exactly how it is in Battlefield games. This is how you start your game with. You choose your weapons and you also choose your cards. Well, these cards are being unlocked as you progress the game. This is like kind of loot of the game that you will get, and these are the things that you will be unlocking in loot boxes. More about this later. And don't worry, it's not negative. It's actually pretty good, because loot boxes are not paid now. You cannot buy loot boxes anymore. You can just unlock them. And yeah, most of the things there are cosmetic, and yeah, the cards are really not that often there. You can unlock cards without any issues as well. So what you choose is you choose your loadout, what weapons you want, what support gadgets that you want, then you choose your cards. Your cards are basically your perks that will upgrade and give you some more additional characteristics and things like that. It's nothing especially amazing, but it's really good thing to have. As you play through the game, you start the game, and yeah, first things first, game looks absolutely stunning. Again, you feel like you are in the middle of Warzone, no matter what type of game mode that you play in, no matter what era, no matter what map. It feels like absolutely insane. As you progress with the game, as you play the objective, defeat enemies, fight, and things like that, you are gonna get some points. And when you accumulate enough points, you can exchange these points in different classes as well, so-called elite classes. Now, these are more advanced classes. Like, for example, for the droids, it's like your super battle droids or droidicas and things like that. Or it can be vehicles, like unlocking entire tanks and things like that. And not just that, it also can be starfighters. And it feels absolutely amazing to have this ability to go into this battle with better weapons. And don't get me wrong, it does not feel like you were cheating, because everyone can get those elite classes. It's not that difficult to get those elite classes. Everyone can do that, and it takes quite a little bit of time to get to those elite classes and get these overpowered classes. And don't get me wrong, because there won't be that many elite classes running around, and because there will be much more regular soldiers running around, it doesn't mean that you will be overpowered at all times. Maybe one-on-one you can overpower the regular soldiers, maybe if you are playing well enough and if these other players are not that skilled. But in other cases, they will overpower you by just skill or sheer numbers. But as you progress, as you get main points, you also can unlock heroes. Those heroes are basically, well, depending on which side you play, are basically your Jedi Masters or your Sith Lord. Of course, there are also other people as well, like Han Solo, which is not Jedi Master, or Chewbacca, things like that. But still, you unlock these far more powerful heroes. They take a lot of points to unlock, and there can be only one of certain heroes at the map at the same time. So you like if you're playing in prequel eras, there can't be a few Anakin Skywalkers running around and mowing down droids. There can be only one Anakin Skywalker. And every faction and every era has their own heroes and elite soldiers like that, making every single playthrough, every single match completely unique. And those heroes are far more powerful than elite units. They're really, really powerful, and they take quite a lot of time to defeat. But because they are not that easy to actually unlock in the first place, even though they're not very, very difficult, after a few matches you will be easily unlocking them like every single match. It still takes quite a lot of time, and it's still quite a lot of skill in order to get them every single time. So it's not really broken, like the balance is not broken, and you will not be seeing Jedi and Sith just mowing down everyone and everything and just being completely undefeated. They can be defeated. If the player that are playing with those heroes are skillful, well, they can mow down entire platoons until getting defeated, but the other team can have the same type of player as well. And when you see heroes against villains fighting, it's absolutely amazing. Now, speaking of heroes and villains, there are multiple different game modes, and these game modes are usually multi-stage, which makes it very fun to play. Like, probably they took this idea from the operations in the Battlefield 1, but here it feels absolutely amazing. Like, for example, you have your supremacy mode, which is basically the main defining player the PvP match mode, like where you just fight on a map, and the team that wins, it's usually all about objective control. The players that win have a chance to assault the carrier or ship of an enemy team, and the enemy team can actually repel them, and etc, etc. And this fighting feels absolutely insane. Like, it's large scale, maps are large, you have your foot soldiers, you have your tech, you have your flying ships, and it feels absolutely amazing. The same goes to Galactic Assault, which usually mirrors the what was done in the movies and things like that. It's also added like a bunch of large scale multi-stage combat as well. You can have also Starfighter Assault if you prefer to play just as a Starfighter and you don't want to wait to unlock the Starfighters in the regular game modes. You can just play Starfighter Assault, and it feels amazing as well. It feels as cinematic as fighting the main combat and feels absolutely amazing. And if you prefer the heroes versus villains, you want to play, well, heroes versus villains, you can actually do that as well, but where the players will only play as heroes and villains, which looks absolutely insane too. There are also smaller modes as well, not just as large scale, like for example Strike or Blast, and it feels really good as well if you prefer something like very small and close quarter deathmatch type of combat. And what differentiates this game from everything else are a few things. First is scale. It feels absolutely insane, like very large scale, and not just every single point at every single map feels as a war zone. Your maps are quite large, and you can get away from a combat and listen how the combat is happening a bunch of different points across the map, which feels absolutely amazing. And you can actually choose where you want to go and where you were to take part in combat or not. And because there are a lot of different objectives, a lot of different players are flocking on those objectives, and the battles are usually always large scale. It's like 10 versus 10 or 5 versus 5, and it's always going with an intense combat. There are a bunch of shortcuts to get to different places really quickly. You will meet a bunch of players while running around. It's always fun, it's always quick, it's always snappy. Time to kill is not that big, but it also big enough for you to hide if you will get in a situation where you didn't didn't shoot first, and with an ability of elite units and all those weapons and tech, it feels really, really good to play. But speaking of really good to play, we need to talk about the price. How much game will cost you in order to get there, and how much this fun will actually cost you. Now, on the deepest sales on Steam, the game can actually be purchased for just $4, for just $4. And the sales like that have been quite frequent recently, even though it's not always that cheap, but you can actually get this game for just $4. But if you miss the sale for a little bit more, you can get this on Instant Gaming as well. It's on Instant Gaming, it's around $10. It's a bit expensive, but it's of course cheaper to get it on Steam on sale, but still, you have choices there. Is it worth for these prices? You kidding me? Absolutely. This game, if this game was released in this state, like it is today on release, it would have been easily worth 60, 70, yes, even $70, because this game has absolutely insane amount of content, insane amount of polish. It's very quick, very snappy. It looks gorgeous, it plays gorgeous, and it feels gorgeous. There is very little things that you can say about this game that you would want to fix. Like, yeah, probably the better thing would be if we had some better campaign, some bigger campaign, and maybe some better characters and things like that. But who really cares about Battlefront 2 single player campaign? It's really not the main part of the game. It's just good thing to have. It would be worse if it didn't have it, but it's still good to have. And even though it would be like 10 out of 10 if it was better, it's still easily right now solid 9 out of 10. The only thing taking back is a mediocre campaign. And if you're still interested why this game is still big and you want to watch an entire video about that, I have an entire video right here about that as well. And if you prefer Star Wars universe but something about Jedi like, you can watch my review of Jedi Survivor right here as well. Don't forget to subscribe right here. This will be for today. I'm gonna see you in the next one. Take care.